global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. Still talking about the emergency rule in Rivers State. A lot of Nigerians have been talking about it, but one of the greatest concern right now is the attitude of Fubara after he had been suspended. Don't forget that he has not said anything thus far. The last time we saw him was in church. The likes of Inibere Effiong, a human rights activist and a renowned lawyer, said he was shocked to see him there, still smiling and not even moving towards contesting the fact that as a democratically elected governor, he was kicked out of office. Another person, talking about the former presidential spokesperson Laolu Conde, had also spoken up about the same issue, and he says similarly Fubara should be the first to challenge his suspension as Rivers State governor. That if Bola Tinubu was faced this kind of move by any democratic president, he would have acted differently. Now let's look at details of what Okonde had to say. And according to Okonde, he says Tinubu would have swiftly approached the Supreme Court if a president had suspended him when he was Lagos State governor between May 1999 till May 2007. Tinubu, who was in the opposition whilst as Lagos governor, was recorded to have challenged the seizure of local government funds by the then president Olusegun Obasanjo government. The former presidential aide said Fubara should not have waited for 7 governors of his party, the People Democratic Party, to institute a suit before the Supreme Court of Nigeria, challenging his 6-month suspension. Okonde lamented that Fubara's lacked courage, adding that it is illegal for an elected president to suspend an elected governor of a state in a way it was done. According to him, he says it is good move what the governors of PDP have done. They probably would be able to save the day, but I am surprised that Governor Fubara himself is sitting down. If somebody did this to Bola Tinubu when he was governor of Lagos State, do you know what he would be doing? He, Fubara, should be the first to go to court. He is still a governor. He still has a status. He is not been removed. He couldn't be removed that way. There is a questionable suspension. The first thing Governor Fubara ought to do, if he knew what he was doing, was to go to court and to tell his people that what has happened in Rivers State is against the law, but he couldn't find the courage. How can I be a governor and the president who was also elected is asking me to go away? Of course, I will go away so that there is no trouble, but I will go to the courts. And I will tell my people, you elected me, the president has asked me to go to court. It is wrong, and I will fight it. That is how we can build democracy. It is not about people in Agbada flowing. That's in Agbada, that was what he said. For 2 years, he's some wicked, the immediate past governor of Rivers State, and his estranged ex-political godson, Fubara, have been locking horns over the control of political structure in the state. Wike, through a member of opposition PDP, is Tinubu's minister of the Federal Capital Territory. This is getting interesting, I must say. But somehow, even as a lot of Nigerians are condemning it, we've seen long list of Nigerians who have condemned it. The likes of Peter Obi for the first time. Peter Obi was very angry, talked about democracy in Nigeria as a result of this being at a collapse state. We've seen Rotimi Amechi talked about it, Atiku Abubakar, legal luminaries across board, the likes of Femi Falana, Labour Party have spoken about it, People Democratic Party, Nigerian Bar Association, PAN, Niger Delta Forum, PANDEV, amongst others. All of them keep on expressly rejecting and condemning that move by Bola Tinubu. But unfortunately, it seems as though Fubara is sitting back to watch what everybody will do for him. And I think by now he should have been granting a lot of interviews across board just to let the world know that this thing that had happened, although I have allowed peace to suffice in my state, I am outrightly against it. Up till now, he has not said anything about it. And most Nigerians who are even intending to fight for him are like, man, what's going on? Why is it that this guy is not even talking? Inibege said something very interesting, which I shared with you at the start of this video, that he was shocked to see Fubara in church wearing white. I know a lot of people ask, were you expecting him to wear black? But however, he seems really unperturbed about it. Now, why are Nigerians making demands on Fubara to react to this situation? Whenever good people keep quiet, evil excel. And unfortunately, in a democratic setting like Nigeria, we've seen a lot of things happen. And every time Nigerians are quiet over it, what we will see next that will come after it will be shocking. As I did say in the previous video, I think this is a Red Sea. Or let me say, this is just a starting point. They are watching to see what the reactions will be by the time it gets to 6 months. If nobody says anything, I can assure you that we will sit back and watch how Rivers State will be ruled for the next 2 years by a military retiree. But it's not the fault of the man. He was called in to say by a democratic government. And I mean, for me, it's troubling that this thing is happening. The same thing we were always fighting against, which is military rule. It has been brought in just because of very unnecessary move, But however, I will leave this to my colleague. What's your standpoint on the, sorry for me to use this word, lackadaisical attitude of Fubara? Maybe he's pressing button behind the curtains, but we do not know. But do you think that possibly he must have been privy to some information which is causing him to just be watching from the sideline?
Let's call a spade, and let's not try to be politically correct. Every follower reads the body language of his leader. When your leader tells you move, it's not a case of do as I say. It has to be do as I do. When your political leader is trying to be diplomatic and politically correct, telling you to stand down, before you know it, you will even lose the steam.
Yeah.
He has this look and this body language of all is fine. What are we really fighting for? We came to this world empty. We leave the world empty.
Which is true.
Very true. But please, this is not for leadership like Nigeria.
Yeah.
Nigeria, permit me to use some words like dog eat dog. If you just show small sign of melembe, wayo, gently, ma say suru, wadlai talai, where they will see it is going to be dustbin of ex-governor. He has not even started governing. He is not entering dustbin of ex-governor. How? The truth of the matter is, all he needs is to tell his people, we'll recover back our mandate, not by mouth, they see actions. I'm not encouraging or telling anyone to look like him, but can we, in all honesty, look at Wike's tenure and look at Fubara's tenure? Even Honorable Super Minister Rotimi Amechi did not dare to come into Rivers State with motor card, with security personnel. Who said he should do it? I am the only governor that have that right with security details. Your time has gone. The likes of Rotimi Amechi became an ordinary person in Rivers. You can be a super minister in Abuja, but in Rivers State, I rule here. Wike took charge of Rivers State such that for you to even come into Rivers, you must take permission. You can't do anything in Rivers State without taking permission from the governor.
Of course.
But Fubara here,
we'll see political stakeholders visiting without even visiting him.
Do you understand the level of this day? We had two governors ruling. One was by title, the other was by authority. Title was Fubara, authority was Wike. Wike will come and host events. Sitting governors will come, will not pay homage to him. And they will go and they will begin to sing, Wike, then they fear you. And Fubara was, see, it's good to be calm. It's lovely to be calm. But there's a difference, there's a thin line between simplicity and stupidity. Please mark it. Don't let anybody take your simplicity for stupidity.
Side chick, conjugal voice,
past wife. You know, this kind of thing. So that when they want to nail your state, they say the guy is humble, but he's not stupid. It's good to be calm. But please, when it comes to your authority, exercise it. There's a reason why you're called the leader. There's a reason why you're called the executive governor. Your word is law. They're doing test run on how possible it is to see how they can, do in democracy, turn it to some sort of military rule. Now they've started testing it.
I think that's why Solomon Bob had to also put up a bill that the immunity of the governors should be strict so that their godfathers can control them. Well, if they do anyhow, we know the next move we can take against them.
And that will now help put the situation in check. I guess that's why all the governors, right now, they now know that it's not going to be all about Fubara. Imagine if they strip them of their immunity, both the deputy governors and the governors, and by so doing, they will now discover that this whole fight is not about just Fubara, but it's about, democracy at large. Imagine them all of a sudden, they are now lower than the executive arm, where the president can tell them they are like appointees. If you don't do my bidding, I can send EFCC on you and all that. So you begin to align by force. If they don't, it's a case of all of them going in for it.
And it's quite disturbing because I know this will interrupt governance a great deal. Because imagine if they successfully pass that particular bill into law. It therefore means that the time can come that because of some inquiries, they get the governor arrested. And before you know, the whole place is scattered. And that will empower the president to also continually be sending in people to take care of or maybe the House of Assembly, to take care of. I mean, come on, they need to really wake up.